Hello everyone, I am the Interroni and I will be reading Wake by Homfrog. Warning! This is Clop. Not too much, but just for those of you who really don't like that kind of thing. Plus the chapter is titled Candy Ass, so... Anyway. Lyra sat at her kitchen table in the early morning. She could smell the sweet fragrances of the pancakes Bonbon was cooking behind her. Dang, she loved that mare. They'd only been together for two and a half months, was it? But they were in love. She didn't even need to look to know that Bonbon was drizzling a letter L onto her stack with maple syrup. Lyra began to idly hum Flap My Jack. Quietly, the stove switched off and the earth pony walked to the table carefully, carrying one plate in her mouth and another on top of her head. She set the first plate at her own place to let it cool, then turned to slide Lyra's plate in front of the hungry unicorn. A loop of her apron's doily lacing got caught under her outstepping hoof, and Bonbon tripped. The plate of pancakes flew towards the green mare with such speed that Lyra had no time to react, barely blinking in reflex, so syrup did not get in her eyes. With a squelch, it landed messily on her face. The plate slowly slid off, landing face up on her lap. The pancake followed, stacking themselves 1, 2, 3, pat, pat, pat on the plate. Bonbon rated herself promptly and gasped. "Lyra, I'm so sorry. You're all messy and covered with syrup. Let me help you with that." She grabbed a towel hanging from the oven's door handle and cleaned the unicorn's face and chest. "Here and here and here," she said, with her tongue sticking out from the corner of her mouth. She removed the towel to find Lyra a little poofy and a little miffed. "You okay?" Yeah, thanks, Bonbon." Lyra stared at the plate on her lap. The pancake on top had a distinct impression of her snout in it. It was tearing at the edges and mushy in the middle. Her eyes wetted briefly. My pancakes." Ruined food was her #1 pet peeve. "Oh no!" Bonbon exclaimed. "Your horn!" "What my horn?" "Your horn's still sticky. It's just drizzled with syrup. Hold on, I'll get that for you." She moved closer. Bonbon, I can take care of that myself." It was all she got to say before her horn tingled madly with a sensation that was entirely unpleasant. Bonbon, what the hey?" She replied, her mouth wrapped firmly around the tip of Lyra's horn. It was all Lyra could do not to push her off and stand up. Not that she'd want to. It felt great. It was only that this sort of thing was usually done later in a relationship. Much later. "Bonbon, but stop, please." She squirmed in the stinging nettles of pleasure her horn sent her. Bonbon's tongue curled around it and slid down, lapping up the viscous syrup like a thirsty dog. It traced the shallow crease of the spiral, first from the tip to the base, and then back up again. Lyra clenched her jaw, her legs spasmodically kicking in front of her. Bonbon had had her foreleaves rested on Lyra's shoulders, propping herself up against the pony she was cleaning up. "This is too soon! Bonbon, we're not even—" Bonbon bit down gently on Lyra's horn, scraping her teeth on it. Lyra's eyes shot open. She was in bed. She had been asleep. It was a dream. These thoughts came to her lazily as her mind awoke after her tightly hunched body. She thanked goodness that it had just been a dream. They'd only been together, 2.5 months? Nothing like that was going to happen any time soon. Slowly, her vision resolved until she could see in the pre-dawn light breaking through the window into the bedroom they shared. The first thing she noticed took up nearly her whole full field of view: Bonbon's chest and neck. A curious feeling crept down the length of her horn, and her eyes widened, twisting in their sockets to get a view. "Oh, sweet Celestia!" Lyra yelped in her head. Bonbon was sound asleep and suckling gently on her horn. A slick of drool dripped on the bedsheets while her mouth enveloped the horn like a pacifier, puckering and receding with her breath. Bonbon's pillow was nowhere to be seen on the bed, and her mane was loose and stray, the two colors tangling with each other. Her forelegs bent over one another in a similar fashion. Okay, what do I do? The mint unicorn took a look around nervously, trying to find the clock. Alas, it was behind her, on the nightstand, and she couldn't see it without getting up. She wasn't even about to try. Bonbon's mouth was distracting her from any thoughts but those about it. It was warm and soft. The way her tongue caressed the very tip with no hurry, as though it was a lollipop that was meant to last a whole day, sent tingles down her spine. She blushed fiercely, stronger with each hue. She noticed that despite the fact that the blankets had been thrown off, she was not cold at all on what should have been an early morning spring before the sun rose. It's technically still night, right? Lyra didn't want to wake Bonbon up. She might stop what she's doing, she reasoned. Ashamedly opting to indulge herself in this guilty pleasure, she nodded her head forward, sliding her horn deeper. Bonbon only shimmered once, but continued her act. Now the green mare felt the lower nerves being stimulated. It was all too much, but she wanted more. She bit her lip and slid it into the base, avoiding her mare friend's teeth and gums as best as she could. Now she could relax. Relatively, Bonbon would do the dirty work now. Lyra loved Bonbon, and though she was completely embarrassed to move their relationship to this stage so suddenly, and without consent, she sighed heavily. She was too tired to argue now. College debate team would pay off later. Whether Bonbon was asleep or not, Lyra was going to enjoy it. She did enjoy it. Bonbon's tongue was a minor celebrity in candy-making circles for its ability to knot cherry stems and unwrap gum, among other things. Every suckle delivered harsh tides of pleasure into her brain. Lyra winced as she felt a bubble, a slight swelling in the gland under the base of her horn. There was no going back now, lest she get painfully red-horned. A thick sparkling secretion leaked out somewhere on the tip. She had never bothered to look where. It didn't matter all that much to her, as long as it did its job. Come to think of it, she couldn't remember the last time this had happened. That didn't matter either. Her whole body quivered as the licks became more active, less accommodating. Bonbon was probably dreaming about something weird. Her tongue swiped against the spiraling ridges, shocking Lyra each time with a spark or two. She was sparking now. Stray pinpoint zaps of electric love. She was close now. Lyra kicked her back legs in pleasure, her mouth hanging open, her eyes rolling back a bit. It might only be a minute now. She'd forgotten how good this could feel, and it felt amazing. More so because she loved the pony doing it with all her heart. She felt her horn blushing hot as it gave off little sparks of magic. The secretion oozed onto Bonbon's tongue and was spread against her horn again. Under immense pressure, her horn swelled up an inch at a time, from the base to the tip, along the flat of the spiral. If she had the chance to look, it would have been bright red, flushed with arousal. The gland underneath itched like crazy. She was begging silently for release. Without warning, Bonbon woke up suddenly. Not immediately realizing what she was doing, she bit down hard. Lyra screamed in climax. The puffy red skin on the horn yielded, sending an urgent message to Lyra's brain. Lyra's brain sent an urgent message back to the horn, saying it was A-OK and to proceed as usual. Lyra magiculated, with the force of a train crash against the back of Bonbon's mouth. A substance resembling electric glitter glue was produced in such quantities that, for a few seconds, Bonbon could not even breathe. Lyra moaned and pulled her horn out, still loosely erupting every few seconds. She was sure she hadn't felt that in years, and never that good. She turned over on her back and stared at the ceiling, with her eyes closed, forelegs spread wide. Next to her, Bonbon had just awoken to a mouthful of warm, sparkling magic. She looked around frantically before her eyes fell upon Lyra, who had an extremely wet forehead and a severe blush on her face, and all over her horn. Bonbon figured out she wasn't breathing and swallowed the magic shakily. It tasted of the white chocolates Lyra loved to eat. She licked her lips and took a deep breath. Lyra, what the actual hay is going on? Can't hear you. Afterglow. Indeed, Lyra's horn was pushing pulses of soft light across her coat, and Lyra was basking in them like a summer's day. Bon punched her lightly in the shoulder and folded her forelegs, quite angry. She watched the pulses lessen in magnitude until Lyra snorted and opened her twinkling eyes. "Lyra, what the hay did you just do to me?" I can explain. Bon sat up crossly. "I'm waiting." "You were sucking my horn in your sleep, and I didn't want to stop you." The Earth Pony scoffed. "I was not!" "Oh, what did you dream about then?" There were pancakes?" Lyra smiled. "Same here," she stated, as if that proved her point entirely. "How can you be so happy? You're just skipping over a whole chapter of us together, and frankly, I feel really violated." The unicorn frowned and looked at her mayor friend. "Sorry, Bon. I'm really sorry, Bon. I am so sorry." The mayor said nothing. Lyra continued. "Bon, I'm not trying to make excuses, but first off, you were really assertive. Second, it's the first day in spring. Third, you have an incredible tongue. And I didn't start it. I woke up and you were going at it like a baby bottle." "A baby bottle?" "You were amazing at it, even when you were asleep. I love you so much, Bon. Thank you." "You're welcome." Lyra looked into Bon's eyes dreamily. "That doesn't change the fact that you totally violated me," Bon half-heartedly insisted. "Okay, how can I make it up to you?" Candy asked. "Don't," Bon snickered. "Don't call me that. Lyra, this is serious business." "What serious business?" Candy asked. She giggled. "Lyra, I know what you're doing." "What am I doing?" Candy asked. "Lyra, stop it! You know I don't like that name." She kicked at her bedmate in jest. "What name?" Candy asked. "Yes!" She put a hoof to her mouth to stifle a laugh. "You love it, don't you?" Candy asked. Bon openly laughed. "Stop! I'm trying to make you feel remorseful." "I love you too," Candy asked. Lyra pecked her mare friend on the cheek. "Lyra, stop calling me that!" She wiggled around. "I'm not a candy ass." "No, you're my candy ass." Lyra ducked her head down and nuzzled Bon's cutie mark. "Hey!" she cried with mock indignation. "Quit it! You're sleeping on the sofa for the rest of the month." She chuckled. "Fine by me. I'll be closer to the fridge. You'd like that, wouldn't you, candy ass?" "Lyra, stop!" She punched her in the shoulder again. "Just 'cause I make way too many fudge brownies, sometimes, doesn't mean this isn't a punishment." "Whatever you say, candy ass. Good morning. I'll get the paper." Lyra climbed out of the bed and took 3 steps on her hind legs before falling on all fours. "I meant to do that," she said as she left the room and closed the door. Bon was consumed by laughter for several seconds. "Candy ass, candy ass," she giggled. "Candy ass, candy ass, candy ass. I'm a candy ass." As she got out of bed to make a well-deserved shower. In the bathroom, she caught a glimpse of herself in the mirror. Still giggling, she opened her mouth and rolled her tongue around at herself. With a clack, her teeth closed into a smile, and she stepped into the stall. "Candy ass." Well, that was more humorous than sensual. Whatever. I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.